Mm. Ay, ganun na ka. We will have our All right. Hello. Good afternoon, class. So welcome to our first meeting in GE15 Environmental Science. So I already checked your attendance when you sign in here at your in your Zoom account. So the one I've recorded here for your attendance is Ahero. May I see where is Miss Ahero? Andiyan na ba si Miss Ahero, Romeline?
Yes, sir. Naa, sir.
Okay, very
Present
good.
po.
Next is, where is Ancog Bernard?
Present, sir.
Okay. Next is James Aurelio.
Present, sir.
Okay. Next is Giliaron Elna May.
Sir, present.
Okay. Next is Malinaw Antoinette May. Hello.
Present po, sir.
Okay.
Present
Next,
po.
how about Glades Malinaw?
Present po.
Okay. Next is Relator Ana Krisha.
Present po, sir.
Okay. Next is Tanzo Vicente, the third.
Present, sir.
Okay, like lastly is Superales Jules.
Present, sir.
Okay, very good. So, maiba pa dyan di natawag for your, so konti lang kayo, di ba? You are 2, 4, 6, 8, 9. So, 9 pa lang. So, let us wait for them. Okay, so did you already studied all my lessons for the G15? So, yung sa paper niyo pala, di ba, is parang picture lang yun siya ang naka-appear sa inyo kasi PowerPoint slides ko yung na-upload ko nung una but I converted it to PDF file. So, in-upload ko siya ulit for your downloadable study guide. So, clear na ba siya sa inyo itong PowerPoint slides na nasabihan ninyo? Okay lang ba siya? Okay, let us have now our first week or last late week na kasi 'di ba mayroon pang ibang nag-late enrollees. So wait, there's someone who would like to join. Lapak, Lopez, and Abuton. Ano yun? Abuton, Lapak, Stephen Jade, and Lopez, Joseph Andrew. Okay. So for the first lesson for the J15, so our first unit learning outcomes or ULO is explain the idea of the environmental science. So I hope you already studied advance about this lesson. Okay, wait mo na may would like to join Stephen Jade Lapak and sino ito? Pandilingan. Admit all. Sanchez Venilin. Okay, let's go back to the PowerPoint slide. So you can give me a definition about what is environmental science. Okay, anyone from the class who would like to give me their idea or thoughts about this environmental science? So why do we need to study this GE15 or the environmental science? Okay, anyone from the class that would like to answer?
Ako, sir.
Okay, this is Mr.
Rafael po,
Okay,
Pandilingan.
Mr. Rafael. Okay.
So, when we say environmental science, sir, for me, kay it's study of our surrounding, like what happened in surrounding, like climate change, the El Nino. So, for me, sir, that's the focuses of environmental science.
Okay, very good. Thank you, Mr. Rafael. So that is about one of our environmental issues that was mentioned by Mr. Pandilingan is the climate change. Okay, how about the other? Ano pa yung... Okay, this is Miss...
Sir.
Okay, sino ito? Miss Ahero?
Yes po, sir.
Okay.
Answer, environmental science is kanang a field of science na nag-study sa ato ang environment. Like for example is ang ato ang kaning living organ o non-living organism sa environment po, sir. And then nag-study po siya sa kanang relationship nato humans sa environment, like sa animals, sa plants, and mga non-living organism diri sa environment po, sir.
Okay, very good. So thank you, Miss Ahero. So as what was mentioned by Miss Ahero, about it studies about the living and the non-living things. So just like from the word environmental science, so the environment, so us humans or any animals together with the plants, diba? It is our environment or in which is in the environments. So we have also different non-living form, like for example, the land, the water, or any spheres in the earth. And then lastly, sino yung kanina yung gusto sana sumagot? Only once.
Sir.
Okay, this is Miss.
Jules, sir.
Okay, Miss Jules Superales.
So for me, sir, environmental science is kanang more on about how we humans interact with the environment. And then kanang ma-determine po nato, sir, ug unsa tamo makahatag og affect affect sa atong environment.
Okay, very good. That is also correct. Thank you, Miss Ju. So how we are interacting with our environment, di ba? Okay, in short, so environmental science is, saan na yun? Ito, the study of the multitude of the encounters, that yun kanina sinabi ni Miss Aher, the living and non-living between us humans and also our very own planet Earth around them. And also the effects can have an impact on the human health and well-being. So as what we are experiencing, this is our current situation, these trying times, di ba, the pandemic. So this pandemic, the COVID-19, could also be an impact in the study of the environmental science because of our overpopulated environment, di ba? So marami ng mga tao na nabubuhay dito sa ating planeta. So yung environment natin is parang di na siya nakiyanan. So one of the effect of this are also the health of every humans and other well-being. Another one, ano po yung definition na binigay ko dito here? The, it is Earth's human population that continues also to expand, di ba? So there is a human population expansion. So dumarami na ang ating populasyon. While also the technology progresses, so with this 21st century, di ba? This social media, technology are arising, and also the human needs and wants to increase. So our impacts on the environment are becoming more pervasive and severe despite of the change in some areas. So there could also be in the study of the environmental science. Okay, we have here some environmental science problems include the global climate change. So as what was mentioned kanina by Mr. Pandilingan, so it is one of the environmental issue or problem that we are facing also today, di ba? So sabi nga ng ating presidente, si President uh, Rodrigo Roa Duterte, that yung pandemic is hindi lang siya ang makakapatay sa mga tao or this COVID-19, but also the climate change, di ba? What we are experiencing, mga earthquake, mga floods, di ba? El Nino or La Nina. Yung last year, yung mga nangyari, di ba? The Super Typhoon Rolly. So yun siya. That is result of this climate change. And also, there is a study from a scientist na pumunta doon sa Antarctica because of this climate change. So, nag-start na nagme-melt yung mga ice sa Antarctica. So what would happen in the next future? So probably it could be a result of mga sea level rise, di ba? So as we all know, di ba, ang water, bodies of water ang nag-comprise sa ating planet. So that is 80% out of 100. While itong land is konti lang siya ang kinakomprise sa planet Earth. So if mararami na namang mga water, so what would happen? So basig in the near future is ato ang mga kabalayan is naanay mga water, di ba? So mas maging mutant na ta na maging swimmer or sige na lang tag langoy-langoy sa tong area because of this climate change. Another is the management of the Earth's water resources. So ito siya. The depletion of oil in the mineral resources, so yung mga resulta sa mga mining companies. The meeting the needs of the rising world population for food, fiber, and clothing. So ito yun siyang resulta sa population growth, di ba? Or the expansion of the population. So pag marami naman na namang magiging tao, so kailangan na naman ng maraming pagkain or mga susuotin. And then also, we have here the air pollution and the acid rainfall, the loss of the stratospheric ozone, water pollution, the soil degradation, loss and contamination of the fertility, deforestation, or you're cutting down the trees, the destruction of ecosystems on land and in ocean. So what would happen doon sa mga plants and animals? So mawawala sila or magiging extinct kasi ma-destroy man ang kanilang ecosystem. And also the spread of this infectious disease, di ba? So just like this COVID-19, that includes those caused by species that have acquired antibiotic resistance. So just like for example sa COVID-19, di ba? So may mga COVID resistant na naman na variant, yung di ba yung sa UK variant, sa South Africa. So they are now resistant na sa mga or nag-evolve or nag-mutate na ang virus. So hindi na siya mapapatay with this mga vaccine. So ito siya na pinag-aaralan dito under sa environmental science. And also lastly, the long-term sustainability of the global and the national economies. So yun siya. Another one is there were several major themes in the environmental science. Who can give me at least several major themes in the environmental science? So I want to hear other students so that I could give you points for our oral recitation, di ba? As what I have said sa orientation, yung sa recorded video ko is ito siya, every time that we will have this Zoom meeting, I'll give an oral participation para kayo na naman ang magsasalita. Okay, anyone from the class who would like? Okay, sino ito?
Environmental quality.
Okay, this is Miss.
Magarang, sir.
Okay, Miss Magarang, Jovelyn.
My answer is environmental quality.
Environmental quality. O, ano itong environmental quality?
Major themes in environmental science.
Yes, so one of the major themes, environmental science. But what do you mean by this environmental quality, Miss Magarang?
About the atmosphere,
So it is
the change of the climate change.
So
About the climate change.
About the climate change. So in atmosphere, so ano yung madi-describe mo sa atmosphere na mayroon na siyang climate change?
Ang ma-describe na ako, sir, is greenhouse gases.
So it has the greenhouse gases. Okay, thank you, Miss Magarang. But on this part, yes, so one of on the environmental quality is the climate change. So it talks about the atmosphere holds heat, di ba? So mainit din siya ang atmosphere natin because of this climate change. It's near to the surface of the earth, which is why it's cooler here than in space. As you can see here in the picture, in the atmosphere, it is very hot, while here naman sa space is sometimes cool din naman siya. So it has a heat trapping concentration of the greenhouse gases. So who can give me, who among you here know this young girl na nandito sa picture? So sino ito siya? Okay, anyone?
Greta.
Okay, this is Mr.
Greta Thunberg.
Okay, this is me. Who is Miss Greta Thunberg? Hello? Sino yun siya nagsalita kanina, Mr. Nawala. Nawala. Hala. Napa ba? Ay, tara. Napa ba ko? Hala. Hello?
Napaka, sir.
Okay na pa? Kinsa to nag-answer kanina na siya to ang nawala, no? Okay, babalikan na lang natin yun siya. So, sino yung makakasagot about this? Ay, young girl na nasa picture sa screen ninyo. Okay, anyone from the class? Hello?
Sir.
Okay, this is Mr.
Aurelio.
Okay, Mr. James Aurelio. Okay, sino itong babae
Si
nandito?
Greta, sir, kay Swedish environmental activist who is internationally known for challenging world leaders to take immediate action against climate change.
So he takes an action about the climate change. So unsa ni siya ang ginahimo ni Greta Thunberg, Mr. Aurelio?
Kanang nasa mga sir ba, mga ang activist sir about sa kanang nasa goal about sa sa ina-challenge siya ang mga leaders sir ba nga nang mahinto bitaw ang climate change. Una yang mga promote sir, nga promote siya kwan kabaguhan.
Okay, very good. So that is correct. Thank you, Mr. Aurelio. So this was Greta Thunberg, who was 14 or 15 years old from Sweden. So she is an activist. So naga-visit siya every countries and then naga-talk siya or she delivered a speech in some leaders now we should really fight climate change because siya is gonna think niya what would happen for them sa kanilang generation na mga bata pa sila in the next future like for example in 2050 or 2060 di ba so sila na pod ang mahimong um, if matigulang na pod sila in next future so napapod ba sila environment or planet earth nga mapuy-an so kung wala na so pwede ba sila mo transfer na lang sa laing planet which is sa Mars so that was the some of the role of this Greta Thunberg. Okay, next, quality. Ano ito siya? Okay.
Clean water, sir.
Okay, this is Miss.
Elna, sir.
Okay, Miss Gilyaron. So what is clean
Yes, sir.
water?
Sa clean water, sir, is pareha sa ano, sir, karon sir nga full of overpopulation na kay sir. So ang clean water, sir, is kanang nagagamay na lang siya, sir. So usahay, sir, ang mga tao, sir, nagakuha na lang sa mga kanang mga balon or sa kilid sa ano sa pamo ng ang mga tubig, sir, is kanang dili siya ano sanitize kaayo so contaminated siya nga water so daghan daghan og mga tao nga nangamatay or ano sa dili inalimpyo nga water, sir.
Okay, thank you, Miss Gilyaron. So that is correct. So another sub-theme under the environmental quality is the clean water. So as we all know, water may be the most valuable resources in the 21st century, diba? So at least 1.1 billion people lack access to the clean drinking water and others have a poor sanitation twice. So good thing sa atin dito, diba? So we are very blessed sa clean water. So for example, dito sa Panabo is coming from the prime waters, di ba? So dati siya na Panabo Water District. So they are the one supplies clean water here in our area. And then marami na din siya mga water refilling station na mga private na kinukuha ng ibang mga panabuan or ng mga tao. So yun siya. So isa din siya na sub-theme under the environmental quality aside from climate change. So we have here the clean water. Okay, another one is we have, so ito siya. Ano itong next na sub-theme under the environmental quality?
Air quality.
sir.
Okay, Miss Relator.
Air quality po, sir.
Okay, air quality. What is this air quality?
Air quality is one of the several major themes sa environmental science. So, according to this power sir post is that air quality is kanang important sir na kanang usa ka siya sa kanang mga issue nga kuan sir nga nag-arise which is na sa ato ang kuan karon today's generation so we all know that ang air ay kanang kanang anang air pollution ay nag-arise jud sa atong world today because of sa mga new mga industrialization especially sa mga countries like China and India na naga-emit og mga kanang mga air quality nga which is maka-apekto siya sa ato ang nature or sa ato ang environment. And so there are some cases that sa tungod sa air pollution is there are mga people nga nagkasakit ani especially nga na mga cancer rates nga sa mga different countries and also nga ang UN po sir is nagtala po nga at least 2 billion metric tons of air pollution ang kanang nagakuan sa ato ang bansa karon po.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Lator. So that explains about air quality, di ba? So as we all know, on this time, di ba, we are more famous sa industrialization, especially in some bigger countries, di ba, ang China and India. So they are the one, sila yung may pinakamaraming or pinakamalaking country in Asia. So with that, may disadvantage din sa kanilang businesses doon. So yung air quality nila is medyo it's not clean or it's not safe to inhale yung sa area nila because some of the people, they poor people, they get sick and some cancer rates or yung mga they got lung cancer because sa kanilang air quality. Okay, aside from the environmental quality, so the second is the human population and well-being. So what is this human population and well-being?
About ano sir, about sa population around the world.
Okay, Mr. Rafael Pandilingan again. What is this population
So
around the world?
the population growth sir is mo na siya ang mga consensus og ang population nga ning saka na good siya sir. So within ang according to this sir within 2050 so mas mo growth pag yun siya so which means nga mas dugay na gud siya kaysa makuan sir kanang tawagan ay kanang dugay ang response about sa mga health mga sir because of population growth just like in China. Di ang China is sila man dako so their population is 1 billion, 1.4 billion naman yun ilang population dira. So therefore, kung mataas ang population, mas gamay na lang siya og space. And then kung maggamay na lang siya og space, kung magsige pa jud ta og anak sir, which means na natay mag-crisis na taan about sa food, about sa atong ecosystem, sa atong environment sir. So mas mataas na pud ang demand for more population. Rather than the Philippines, we have a 1,000,000 and 109 million naman sa Philippines ka population sir for 2021 consensus.
Okay, correct. Thank you, Mr. Pandilingan. So very well said about the population growth. So that explains that here in our country, di ba, so we are 109 million Filipinos on the consensus or the data statistically of our population. So with that, so if mararami na naman yung mga population natin, so there is some consumption sa mga food, di ba, sa health, sa shelter, so on and so forth. But on here, so there is a current threats that expects 8 to 10 billion na siya ang ating human population in the entire world, di ba? So as what was mentioned kanina by Mr. Pandilingan that China is the country who has the overpopulated. So tama din yun siya. Okay, also we have here another one, hunger and food. So what is this hunger and food? Okay, anyone? Any other students?
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is Miss.
Janeline Pacheco, sir.
Okay, Miss Pacheco.
Yes, sir. Hunger and food, sir, is human population well-being man, sir, di ba? If kanang, di ba, nagadagan ang mga tao, sir, then if ang demand sa food is decrease kan gamay it means kanang ang mga bata nga nagadaghan it wala na sila yung makaon ang population sa tao gadaghan pero unsaon mo wala man sila yung makaon nagakos sila og hunger tapos pag wala yung mga pagkaon ng mga bata or mga tao kay sobra kadaghan and then syempre magkasakit sila.
Okay, correct. That explains hunger and food. So thank you, Miss Janeline. So that is how the importance of this human population and well-being. So if ma-expand na naman yung population natin, so there is what we call as famine, di ba, or kagutuman. So there is hunger and food consumption na dadami pa. So if dadami din yung anak ng anak, and then also if lalaki na yung bata, so kailangan niya naman siya ng consumption of food. So paano siya mabubuhay if wala itong pagkain or makakaranas siya ng hunger. Okay, next is here. What is now the next under the human population and the well-being? Okay, anyone?
Information and education po, sir.
Okay, this is Miss.
Antoinette Malinaw po,
Okay,
sir.
Miss Malina Antoinette. So what is information and education?
A process of facilitating or learning po, sir.
And ano pa? Sa education is the
For
facilitating
the
learning, di ba? Just like this virtual education or online class. So the teacher facilitates the learning of every students dyan sa inyo at your home. While also there are some cases that is a self-instructional, di ba? That should uh, rate advance. Like for example, there is some slow internet connection or interruption sa internet. So as long as you already downloaded the files, di ba? So you could also instruct yourself or you could have a self-learning. Okay? May additional ka pa ba, Miss Malinaw?
wala na po, sir.
Okay, thank you, Miss Malinaw. That is the information and education. From the word information, so this could we get from here in school, not just in the online class, but also towards, oh, it's running out of time. So after mag-stop na siya, guys, so you can click again the link that I sent to you sa Keeper because there is limited time lang pala itong sa Zoom, which is 45 minutes, I think, or 40 minutes lang pala nandito. So hindi pa ako nakapag-upgrade kasi medyo mahal-mahal ang sa Zooms. And also next time, we could also use Google Meeting kasi wala naman siyang time na limited. So unlimited yung paggamit sa Google Meeting. Okay? Next, we have here the number 3. So we are done in the environmental quality. Number 1, the number 2 is the human population and the well-being. So the third one is the natural resources. So what is the first sub-theme under the natural resources?
Biodiversity loss.
Okay, Mr. Bernard Angkug, what is this biodiversity loss?
The pagkahurot sa mga answer puyanan sa mga animals like
So, like?
forestation, mga kwan sir, human kwan tawa na
So, kinsa ang
illegal
nagahurot sa mga animals?
human sir,
So, it is us, human. So, correct. Ano pa? May additional ka pa ba?
wala na sir. Tama na.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Angtog. So, biodiversity loss, di ba? Biologists claim these habitat loss, the overexploitation, also the deforestation among the trees and forests, and some exotic animal introduction gradually kill the biodiversity. So, they're like the great extinction that marked the end of the dinosaur period, di ba? So, dati is may mga dinosaur, but as time goes by, so na-extinct na sila or nawala because yung biodiversity nila is nawala na. Okay, another one is we have here the next under the natural resources. So what is now the next sub-theme of the natural resources?
So answer na
Answer.
Okay, Mr. Lopez.
answer na conservation of forest and nature preserves
So what is
ng mga kahoy nga mga putol sir tas kung mga putol sir mag-cause og calamity pareha sa baha. Na sir.
Okay, correct. So that is the next or the second sub-theme in the natural resources about the conservation of this forest, diba, which is the deforestation. So that is why, diba, there is a bill in our country that every graduating students, diba, in high school, senior high school, or in college, that they should plant trees, diba, or conserve this forest to prevent mga natural disasters or calamities like mga floods or mga earthquake, di ba? So yun siya. That is the conservation of forests and nature preserves. And then the next one is this. So what is this? Sub-theme under the natural resources. Okay, anyone?
Energy resources,
Okay,
sir,
Miss
is ano,
Lapasaran.
yes po. Energy resources, sir, is ano, one of the resources like sa mga bukid dyan dyan, sir, like sa kanang solar system. If wala sila kanang dili na sila maabot sa kanang like para sa to ang gigamit diri sir is Davao Light. So ginagamit nila is panel solar para mag-produce sa ilaha og kanang kuan electric po.
Okay, correct. Thank you, Miss Lapasaran. So that explains the energy resources. So if you have encountered in your GE5, so nakaginaba mo sa Science, Technology, and Society, so there is a one object there which is called the salt lamp, di ba? So yung salt lamp, so isa yun siyang lampara na ginagamit sa mga rural areas, so sa mga bukid-bukid, kasi doon is wala namang mga electricity, di ba? So na-invento siya ng DOST or Department of Science and Technology. So may specific yun na babae na invent sa salt lamps, and then with that ang salt lamp is lalagyan lang siya from the word salt, di ba? So salt water lang siya ang ginagamit na pampasiga ato na lampara, unlike aning mga solar panel, medyo expensive man ni siya, pero it can also be a renewable resources, like in this an energy coming from the sun, di ba? So pwede siya ma-convert as electricity, or this windmill na nasa Ilocos, and then this hydroelectric power from the Maria Cristina Falls. So yun siya. And then the next one is the ano ito siyang under sa natural resources pa din. Okay, we are 4 minutes na lang left, guys, on the remaining meeting time. What time is it na pala? 5:15. We will end at 5:30. So almost done na din pala itong PowerPoint natin for our first lesson. Okay? Anyone from the class?
Sir,
Okay, again, Miss Ahero.
marine resources, sir, kanang ang dagat na to is ginakuhaan na to siya og naa siya mga resources na gina-use or ginakuan sa mga tao, sir, like for example ang mga isda, mga crabs and all. Then it's not just na kanang kuan lang nato siya pirmi og kanang mga food na ato ang kaunon, but kailangan na po mga resources dito sa dagat, sir, or kanang mga living organism sa dagat na dili pwede hilabtan kay kailangan po nato i-protektahan ang ato ang dagat, sir.
Okay, correct. Thank you, Miss Ahero. So that explains the marine resources, di ba? As we all know, we are more diverse when it comes to mga marine creatures, di ba? Mga animals or fishes. So with that, so there should be a policy that protects also some marine resources. So ano lang yung pwede i-harvest or hulihin as for fishing na ibebenta sa mga market. So yun siya. Okay, meron pa ba dito? Oh, it's done. So thank you guys for listening for our first lesson. So we only have 2 lessons na lang for the coverage for your first examination this Friday, January 29. So tomorrow is 26. So we'll continue our lesson and also on Wednesday. So lesson 2 and 3. Kate, do you have any other questions and clarification before we will end this meeting? So we only have 2 minutes left na lang. So while waiting,
Sir,
okay, this is Miss.
mapasaran po.
Okay, Miss Lapasaran.
Sir, nag-record ka ani na ano sir klase?
Yes, so there is a recording here. So I will upload it sa Google na lang. So I'll get all your Google address. So para i-upload ko siya yung mga di naka-attend kaninang first slide or yung mga absent ngayon. So para naman so makita din niyo itong ano yung nangyayari sa klase natin or our first meeting. Okay?
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. So again, I will state those students who are present. So please state to me if sino yung mga dinatawag for your attendance. So you are 17. Okay, maisi sino yung mga present lang sa klase. So ang meron lang is Miss Abuton. So maisi, nandyan pa ba siya? Saan yung mga participant? Hindi siya pwedeng ko. Ayun. So, meron lang din dito na record ko, yung mga nag-oral din. So, Miss Ahero, Ancog, Aurelio, Giliaron, Lapak, Lapasaran, Lopez, Magarang, Malinaw, Antoinette May, and Glades, Malinaw, Pacheco, Pandilingan, Relator, Sanchez, Tanzo, and Superales. So may iba bang di natawag? So you're 17. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16 na lagi na record. Huwag na ito'y wala.
Sir, si Montales, sir.
Miss, sino ito? Si
Montales.
Montales?
Yes.
Wala
Yes,
lagi
sir.
siya sa kong class list. Late na siya nagpa-enroll?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Tapos karon ako na-add.
Karon na po siya na-add. Sige, i-update na lang po siya